Welcome to episode. Hold on, brain no work. Episode 6. Yeah, episode 6.
Wow.
Here's your host again. I know we're still doing it. Surprising. Episode 6. Xcross here. With me today, we have Aketenki,
Yo.
Frankie, aka
Hey, everyone.
Silent Night, and finally O Duke.
Good evening, team.
We don't have AA wrong because he told me he's drunk as fuck and he's watching UFC, so he didn't make it. So if he hears this later, if he actually listens to the pod in like 3-4 weeks, whenever the fuck this comes out, when I'm the rotation, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, I remember all that shit you're talking in episode 3 when I had to go edit that shit. I remember that. Fuck you, Aaron. Well, anyways, who wants to start us off? Because I'm assuming Ben doesn't actually have a question because he was just trying to get Frankie to confess his sins in life.
I'll start us off, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So last week,
All right.
which you guys haven't heard yet, obviously, but last week, we were talking about briefly injuries.
Uh-huh.
Right? So let's hear your guys' worst injuries.
I don't have much. I've dislocated both shoulder blades, but at different increments of time. Freshman year, one blade. Senior year, the other blade.
Ben?
That's the worst I've ever done.
And did you ever recover from that,
Yeah.
Tommy?
No,
Yeah,
he doesn't.
shoulder blade dislocation is it's like a 3-week recovery time, so it's real simple.
Did the doctor need to like relocate it for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
My senior year, I drove home with my arm, so basically one arm was just like, I mean, I could move it, but it was extremely painful. So I was like driving one-handed. I believe I got lucky. I think my senior year I dislocated my left, so it was easier. It was at least easy to drive home because I didn't have a stick, so it was automatic. So my right arm is my dominant hand anyway, so it was easy to drive home. But yeah, I dislocated it because I was in the wrestling team. I dislocated it there because me and a guy were wrestling, and I rolled wrong and fucking pop. There goes the shoulder blade.
Were you wrestling as a freshman, Tommy?
Yeah.
You know, I remember I was also wrestling in freshman year. I do remember wrestling someone. I was from Patriot, and then I think wrestling someone from Harupa. And I don't, let's say, think it was you, but
What weight class were you?
It might have been 130.
No, I was not 130. I was the 135.
I don't remember exactly. It could have just as easily been 135.
Okay.
You guys wrestle your own weight, right?
Yeah.
But I don't remember if it was 130 or 135. But
yeah, I don't.
I do remember losing to that person, and it could have been you because it kind of looked like you a little bit.
No,
my memory was like, hey, it kind of looked like you.
My freshman year, I lost to the Kaiser guy.
I was not the Kaiser guy though. I was
I know you're Patriot, but I lost to the Kaiser guy in the finals.
That was the only match you played?
No, I played. I mean, I did more, but I'm just saying that
exactly. But it wasn't the tournament. It was a regular meet.
I don't remember the match. I don't remember my freshman year really much on I wasn't that good yet. I won a few matches, but I didn't win a lot. So
no, I think it was you, dude. I mean, why wouldn't it have been you? Why do you insist that it wasn't you?
No, because you don't know what your weight was. So
130, 135, that's in the ballpark.
Okay, that's 2 weight classes, Ben.
Well,
I just remember
Ben?
No. I just remember from going from middle school to high school when I saw Ian Turner.
Ian Turner, he was one of my buddies from wrestling.
Yeah, well, in 8th grade, he was a skinny little shrimp. And then all of a sudden, when you get to high school, like he took fucking puberty hit him like a fucking truck because he looked like he was fucking roided up, jacked out of his head. that guy must have gained like 40 pounds of muscle somehow in like 5 months.
Yeah, he was a very big kid.
Not in middle school, he was an average looking dude.
Yeah, he was one of our top wrestlers too. I remember him.
Yeah, so anyway, so from that divergent, someone else can go ahead on their injury list.
I had a buddy of mine later, in adulthood. He told me that every day for the summer, he fell from his bed, and he would land boner first. I'm not sure if it was true, but it's just a interesting way to phrase it. Like, who comes up with that phrase if it's not true?
I guess that's the one way to say, hey, I land on my fucking face every day.
And as far as me, I'm not sure so much an injury, but I had my appendectomy, so my appendicitis burst back in senior year, got popped, and it was I was out for a few days, and then probably recovered within a few weeks. I can't really recall any other like major injuries from that point on, except for that one time when I fell down when I was like 7 years old. But I was up and about the same day.
It's that kid fortification, ingenuity. As long as you don't acknowledge the pain, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, we do have that like the first 5 year fortification buff.
I know all about that. I had a fucking I climbed my like a bookshelf when I was like 4, and I made that bitch tumble over. I came out fine.
Debatable. Frankie? About you?
Let's see. If I recall, I think this is the time when we were at RCC, and I went running. And I think for old time's sake, I went ahead and I went and run up the hill. And let me see. Yeah, it's like one of the it's the hill that has like that big reservoir on the very top. And I think I might have took a wrong turn because I was about to come down the hill, but I went through the wrong path. So the pathway that was like I was coming down, it was a lot steeper. And I guess what ended up happening, I might have like came down just so like I was running jogging down a little too fast, and then I might have misstepped, and then I just like I kind of like tumbled down like just the hill just a tiny bit. But I guess when I landed, it's like I kind of landed on my leg, on my knee, and unfortunately, like I took a little bit of like my skin off, and it was like really bloody, like it looked really bad. But I guess like I also got hurt just a little bit, like with my arms, my legs, but just mainly my leg, like my knee, just like I like took a clean chunk of like skin right off. It looked really bloody. It looked really bad. Um, I went to the hospital. You know, got a couple Tylenols, and then they gave me a couple like one of those medicines like just to fight infections. But they had to bandage it up quite good. So it looked like because of that, it's like it looked like I was limping most of the time. It kind of sucked. It was like that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was
You skinned your knee.
pain in the ass. Yeah, skin my knee pretty much.
And that sucks that RCC is nothing but fucking hill.
Yeah, that's true.
No matter where you go,
Right.
you're going up a hill somewhere.
Oh shit!
What, your
Yeah,
knees
so
ache from
it lasted.
remembering that?
Yeah, it lasted for a while. I think the more pain in the ass part was just getting the bandage off because I think that like that thing was just like it was glued like really good to my knee. Like and as soon as I was just like peeling it off, like some like one of those days I think some time ago like I was like peeling it off like little by little and it just yeah it looks pretty nasty. But I mean I rather prefer to have the thing off and just let it heal on its own. Yeah, that was like one of the worst injuries I had.
I know when I was at RCC, one of the worst things that happened while I was there, I got bit by some kind of spider. I think it's a brown recluse, just because of the damage it did to my leg. But I got bit by a spider, and that shit swelled up like a fucking baseball bat, and they had to extract all the venom and all the gunk coming out of my leg. So now I have a little tiny scar on my leg still, but that happened at RCC, and I was like, for like 2 days, I had to use crutches because I could barely walk because they fucking dug a hole fucking deep into my leg to get all the shit out, and then they put cotton inside, and then had to do all kinds of shit, and uh, yeah, so I had to use crutches, so I had to park in the parking garage, and going up those hills was a bitch. Also, my car muffler was fucked up, so when I
I
would
remember that.
start it in the
PT
garage,
Cruiser, right?
I was I would set car alarms off.
Yeah,
That
that
was your
sounded pretty
PT
painful coming
Cruiser, right?
from a spider bite.
Huh?
That was your
Uh,
PT Cruiser.
uh, yes, PT Cruiser.
Oh, I used to remember that vehicle too.
Yeah, I remember you used to drive that one. If I remember correctly, it was like a kind of a purple red color.
Yeah, it was like a
No,
burgundy.
really, I thought it was black. I
No, it was
remember it being
burgundy.
black.
No, it was burgundy.
Isn't burgundy a purplish red anyway?
Yeah,
Ben would be correct-ish.
yeah. That's why I said burgundy, just so it's more. If people know their colors, or like abstract colors, then yeah, they'll know what fucking burgundy is.
Oh, wait
Huh.
up. Randy never went. Randy.
Right?
Oh,
Oh
okay.
god, we're gonna be
Well,
here a while.
I saved me for last for a reason.
I was present for
So
like 2 of them.
so we'll start at the beginning. Uh, my obviously I've skid my knee, gotten bloody noses, things like that, regular stuff, kid stuff. Um, so my first major injury was in 6th grade, right? And this may or may not contribute to my memory problems to this day. Um, but from what I remember of the day was I had a field trip, right? I think we went to like an art museum or something in LA. I don't know if you remember this or not, Tom, where we went
Uh-huh.
6th grade.
Where we went,
Yeah.
or where you went, or where we were supposed to go?
No, where we went. Wait, did I go or I thought I went? Didn't I go to the field
6th
trip
grade.
or was it the day before or some shit?
No, well, we had that little. It wasn't a field trip. It was like a celebration day. They brought jumpers in.
Oh, no, that was after I
Yeah.
broke my arm.
Uh, I don't.
So,
The only one I
uh,
remember it being was, I think it was like one of the zoos.
okay, well, I don't remember where we went, but I remember we had a field trip. Um, and it was the reason I remember this is because I think the day before, I
Uh-huh.
had convinced my mom to get me uh, whatever new Yu-Gi-Oh game had come out on the Game Boy Advance. One of
Oh,
the one of
okay.
the one of those. So I was like all excited to play that shit on the field trip. We went to the field trip, um, came back, and my mom picked me and my sister up from school. We went over to a friend of hers house, my mom's friend's house, and these people had like a pretty big piece of property, like a little over an acre, acre and a half, something like that. And they had a bunch of tree houses on their trees. Like I think they had like 3 tree houses or some shit, or 2, and they were building a third one or something like that. Right now, the family consists of uh, 2 sons. I think one was like college age and one was high school age. Um, and then a daughter, who was a year younger than me, so my sister's age. The two sons were like very what's the word? They like to build shit, right?
Yeah.
My mom had recently given them some like steel cable, and they made a zip line across the property from their tallest tree to the other side of their yard. Uh, so they built a zip line. They ran the cable from one side to the other, and then they used the front end of a bicycle, so just the handlebars and the front wheel, right? And they tied a long rope to it so that they could drag it from the bottom to the top of the zip line. And we went over to their house, and the the girl I was friends with, we used to play together. Uh, she was like, "Oh yeah, look, we got a zip line. Go on it." I was like, "Hell no!" I was afraid of heights back then. I don't remember if you remember the when we went to Six Flags after high school, Ben, or during high school, I guess. But I uh, did not like heights, so I told her, "Nah, I don't want to." And then she went up and did the zip line thing. Important thing to point out is my sister was not feeling good by the time we got there, right? So she decided to stay in the car and take a nap. So she wasn't present during this. um, so the girl goes once, and then I to myself was like, well, I can't, I thought she was a little cute, so, can't look like a bitch. So I was like, all right, I'll go. So I climbed this tree, and the tree's probably like 30 feet tall or so, like about second story house height, maybe a little bit taller. And so I go up to the treehouse, and it was pretty much just just a wood floor. They hadn't really done anything to it. It was kind of small, maybe the size of a table or something. It wasn't very big. Couldn't You could only fit like one person up there at the time. Um, so I get up there. I go once, make it all the way down. I was like, okay, that wasn't too bad. That was kind of fun. So I drag the bicycle thing from the bottom to the top of the zip line, and then she goes again. And then I climb up, and she brings it back to me. And this time, being a little show off, I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and go faster. Right now, it might be hard to picture, okay, but again, it's the front end of a bicycle with no wheel, no tire tube on it, right? So
Okay.
it wasn't exactly secure. It wasn't Obviously it wasn't safe. Um, so when she dragged it up, I at some point it popped off the track, the cable, I guess. Um, so I decided I'm going to get put a little momentum into jumping off instead of just I don't know how to explain it, but just kind of gently pushing off. I was like, I'm gonna put some momentum into this. So I wouldn't say I got a running start, but I got like a leaping start, and the zip line went nowhere. It didn't move. So I just kind of like swung and then lost my grip and just fell. I fell about 30 feet or so, landed basically on my back. All my weight went onto my elbow, so that my elbow was the point of impact. Uh, ended up shattering my elbow. My head, thankfully, I think it was gravel that I landed in. Uh,
What do you mean? Thankfully, gravel is
well,
gravel seems pretty harsh.
I mean, I would imagine it would have been bit softer than landing on solid concrete.
Maybe, maybe.
Maybe I
Be
don't know.
glad ground
You could,
broke fall.
uh, so I landed on my elbow, and I gave myself a severe concussion. So little brain damage, maybe.
Damn.
Uh, I blacked out. So my last memory is kind of the point where I lost my grip. Right. So the moment I lost my grip is more or less where my memory stops, and then I wake up in the hospital. Uh, Apparently, I was in the hospital for 3 days.
You were in the hospital
Holy
for 3
shit.
days before
Yep.
you
Before my
recognized that you were, like, th having an injury?
not that I well, when my consciousness comes back, I guess I was awake the whole time. I just blacked out, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
That's
So,
yeah,
Yeah, you were.
you at one point, you
You
had
went
no memory of
autopilot.
those 3 days.
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have 3 days of memory just gone.
Wow.
So
Damn.
from what I was told was I landed, broke my arm, screaming and crying. Uh, the girl fucking, I guess she freaked out, ran inside, told my mom that I fell, and everybody thought it was. Well, I guess it was pretty bad anyway, but they thought it was, you know, dangerous. So they called the ambulance. Uh, my sister told me that while she was waiting in the lobby, that a hawk carrying a small animal slammed into the door, so it left the door all bloody. Uh, and yeah, so I ended up shattering my elbow. They did a quick surgery to reset it, basically. Uh, I don't remember if I had 2 or 3 total surgeries, but I know I had pins put into my elbow, and then I had to have surgery to take them out, obviously. Uh, yeah, and then I haven't. And that's how I got the scar on my left elbow. If you guys are familiar with it. So all in all, to recap, yeah, I shattered my elbow. Uh, got a severe concussion. Woke up in the hospital 3 days later. I have no memory of those 3 days. Uh, it took me. I was I was out of school for probably like a month, maybe. And then when I came back, which was after might have been after my surgery to take the pins out, uh, then I was in a cast for basically the rest of the school year. I think I transitioned from to a cast to a sling, but yeah, that's injury number one.
Oh,
Injury
Oh
before
yeah,
you
number
that's
go,
pretty
wait, wait,
incredible.
wait, wait. Sidetrack on before you go to there. Right. Obviously he got hurt the day after he was supposed to. That this happened. His dad was supposed to pick me up, and we were going to go skiing in
what the
Big
fuck?
Bear.
I don't have any recollection of that.
Oh, I do because I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go skiing for the first time. I'm probably going to fall flat on my fucking face all the time because I have no balance. Oh, well, I'm going to go see the snow. Sweet. So that day of, I'm like, huh, he hasn't called yet. Wonder what's going on. Back then we didn't have cell phones, so landline, and I was like, huh, whole day passed. I wonder what happened. His dad never showed up with Randy, and he never called. So what the fuck? And then I get a call from his mom saying, "Oh yeah, he's in the hospital. He fell from a tree. He broke his arm. He hasn't woken up yet." And I was like, "Oh, that explains a lot."
Huh.
I
I
mean,
don't remember
yeah. Anyway, now continue.
that. So any questions before we move on? Ben, Frankie?
Probably some in the future, but we could move on.
So injury number
I mean,
2.
that's still pretty incredible, to be honest. I mean, shit that you blacked out for 3 days in the hospital. Like, did they say like you've been in like comatose for a while, or did you just like been awake but you just have no memory of
No,
that
I was
whatsoever?
I was awake up until the first surgery, I think. The first surgery. So again, I shattered it. So I think I did have 3 surgeries if I remember correctly. So they cut me open. They had to basically reconstruct my growth plate in my elbow. They had to put my elbow back together basically, and then I believe I was more or less like asleep for the rest of the hospital stay until I woke up, and then I had another surgery. No, I'm pretty sure they put the pins in, so it should be 2. And then I had another surgery to remove the pins.
Before your
Wow.
first surgery, um, they said you were awake, but did they also comment on your behavior while you were awake before that surgery? Like what were you doing? What were you saying?
Not not anything significant besides, uh, in pain, distress,
Oh,
basic injury responses.
okay. Wow.
The other detail to point out, at least according to my mom, was that from my concussion from the impact of hitting the ground, my eyes were completely like bloodshot, like red. So, um, so injury number two is less eventful. Uh, this would have been what, freshman year, junior year, or senior, sophomore year. Tom,
Um,
do you
for
remember
the
when
foot,
exactly? It was
for your foot,
for, yeah, my toe.
that was your senior year. No, that was your junior year.
Was it junior year?
Yeah, because I was a junior, and the friends we went with were seniors.
We went with what was his name? Jesse, and then
A guy named Theo.
Theo. Okay, so yeah, the story for this one is your dad, right, won tickets
Yeah, he won tickets to.
to Raging Waters in Palm Springs.
Yeah,
Yeah, so uh, we went with two of Tom's wrestling team
no,
members,
water polo.
buddies,
Water polo.
water polo, and then myself, obviously. Uh, Spent the day just having a good time. And then at some point we went on to this like jungle gym water play area, and there was like a rope bridge climbing thing. Well,
Yeah, I
not
don't know how to.
climbing really.
It was more like a walkway instead of a regular walkway. It was just like pirate
With
net,
rope. Yeah.
rope net thing.
I remember I think I was chasing somebody, or running after somebody, trying to catch up to somebody, something like that. And I just remember my foot slipped and got stuck, and I just kind of tugged it and didn't think anything of it. And then I don't remember time frame, but when it was time to leave, so Tom's parents dropped us off, and then my mom picked us up in her tiny little fucking. I think we had like a Honda fucking Civic at the time or some shit. Uh,
Yeah, and she brought your sister, so
yeah,
we
we
had less
crammed.
room. And then one of my friends is like 6'5", 300+ pound dude, so he's big.
Anyway, so three of us, well, all of us had to cram in the back seat because they had my sister sitting in the front seat. I was the last one to get in, I think, and I remember I was trying to crawl in, and either Tom or one of his friends was like, "Hey, what's wrong with your foot, your toe?" And we looked down, and my toe's like black. And I think it was my second toe next to my big toe.
I don't remember the toe. I just
Yeah. So, uh, like, "Hey, why's your toe black?" I was like, I don't know." And then come to find out, I had broken my toe.
Holy shit!
Yeah, yeah, that one was interesting because I didn't even feel it or notice it. I
So when you
the
said
only
you got your
thing
foot stuck, I mean, you didn't even notice anything?
I not like I said, I didn't feel any like pain. I don't remember. I just
Huh.
remember distinctly like my foot was kind of. I don't know if I like stubbed my foot and got it wedged in between something or whatnot, but I just remember my foot kind of got stuck, and then I yanked it to get it out, and then just kept going.
Huh. Damn.
And then yeah, we went and we were getting in the car, and somebody seen my foot as I was lifting it to get inside the car, and we're like, "Hey, your toe's black." And then we went to the doctor later, and my toe was broken.
Wow.
So small injury number two, kind of boring, uneventful.
That
More
that
of a
one did
funny comedy
recover?
story. No, it's fine.
Okay, that's good to hear.
I didn't have to amputate it.
Very good.
Now injury number 3, at least the third one I can think of right now, would be fast forward to my 28th birthday. Uh, it was so I had just started working at the job that Tom's at right now. I had been working there for literally a month. I had just gotten my insurance, which is significant to the story.
Oh boy.
And my birthday was on like a Wednesday. That weekend, me and my wife, she was planning to throw me a little party, birthday party. So that morning, my sister called me and she was like, "Hey, how do you feel about going quadding for your birthday?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, that sounds fun." So we met up with my mom and sister, me, my wife, and my daughter, who would have been 4 at the time, I think, somewhere around there. Um, and we drove over kind of by Palm Springs. Right off the freeway, there's a little place you can rent quads and go ride quads. So we go over there. We pay for an hour of ride time. Uh, for kids, they have, especially kids that can't actually ride by themselves, they have these little like safety ball things they sit in, and you just kind of the parents tow them. So my mom and my wife, they traded off towing my daughter because Nora's never been on a quad as far as I remember. And so me and my sister were pretty much riding around. So the hour goes by. The people that were running it, they drove by and told me and my sister, "Hey, time's up. You guys got time to go down the hill one more time." So all right, cool. So we go. Me and her drive all the way to the top of the hill. I record on my phone. I record my sister driving down, and then she gets to the bottom, and I put my phone away, and then I go down, and I hit like a ditch or something that caused me to. I don't think I flipped the quad, but I kind of slingshot it off the quad and broke my collarbone. Also gave myself another severe concussion. This time I also blacked out. I woke up in the hospital about 4 hours later, uh, wearing a sling, I think. And yeah, I had a broken collar. Well, yeah, it was broken collarbone with severe concussion again. Uh, and that's pretty much it.
It's like you waking up in the hospital and being like, "Oh, this looks familiar."
Uh, I woke up in the hospital and I was like, "Uh oh, what happened?" And that's when everybody told me.
This isn't Skyrim.
The
It's like,
fun
"Oh,
part
hey,
about
you're
this
awake."
is apparently, according to my sister, so my sister's seen it happen. She said that I slammed down, uh, the quad got knocked over. She said I got up, fixed the quad, got back on the quad, and then rode the way. I was most of the way down anyway. Um, rode the quad back down over to her, and she said I was complaining that my shoulder hurt. And so there's a picture of me on the quad, kind of rubbing my neck, shoulder area where I broke it. And so they noticed obviously my shoulder was like not looking right. So okay, let's go to the hospital. And on the way to the hospital, according to my wife, I kept one of the first things I asked her was, um, "Who's the kid?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Yeah, whose daughter are you babysitting? Like, what's going on?" She's like, "This is our kid." She's like, and I apparently I laughed and was like, "What the? We don't have a kid." And some further questioning seems like I was thinking that we were uh, first getting together.
What the?
So
Yeah,
I guess you kind of suffered some sort of amnesia.
yeah. So they on the car ride to the hospital, my family kept telling me um, that I was acting strange because I kept asking the same questions over and over again, and a lot of them were mostly based off of like, who's the kid? Uh, they asked me, I think at one point, what we were celebrating today, and they said I was thinking that I was like 22 or 23 again, something in that age range, and yeah. And then there's another picture of me in the hospital bed, still blacked out, with a neck brace on because they weren't sure if I, injured my spine or anything like that. So they had to be kind of careful with me. Uh, so I have a neck brace on, and I'm flipping my sister off. And then
On
that's
purpose, or like
yeah, yeah.
trolling, or be, or you don't have a memory of this?
I don't have a memory of this.
Okay, okay.
So whatever my mindset was at the time, I was flipping her off because she was taking a picture of me. I guess I don't know.
Oh no, you were on. This was after your. This was certainly this was after your laughing gas.
So my understanding is, so I didn't need surgery for my collarbone. But my understanding is when we got to the hospital, they gave me an MRI, they put me in a neck brace and a sling, and gave me an MRI to make sure I didn't have any brain swelling, anything like that. And either right before or right after the MRI is when my sister took the photo of me in the neck brace, laying in a hospital bed, and I was flipping her off.
Do you think that she she thought you were in the right mind as you did that?
She just thought the situation was funny. That's all.
Okay.
She was just taking a picture of me with a broken bone again.
And do do you now um recognize that you weren't 20 during that, what was it, early 20s in the car ride home, or do
I
you?
I have the last thing that again, I blacked out for about 4 hours, give or take. So the last thing I remember was recording my sister going down the hill and then putting my phone away. And then I went from at the top of a hill on a quad to in a hospital bed.
Okay.
That sounds like an
So
awesome birthday.
Yeah, it was fun. I would do it again.
when you got to like the when you got to like the last phase, like the recovering phase, you recognized all of reality as reality. It wasn't new to you. It was the same reality before your injury.
Yeah. So once
Okay.
once I came out of the blackout period, yeah, I was fine.
Okay, okay.
I recognized who I was, what age I was, stuff like that.
So it was just like this temporary amnesia of sorts.
S- I wouldn't say amnesia, but yeah, possible. Well, I guess you could say that. But yeah, temporary reset in the mental aspect. But yeah, that injury took about 3 months to come back from. Uh, I did not end up needing surgery. The doctor had told me it was a clean break, um, and it would just heal on its own, uh, which it did. I just have this weird lump on my left collarbone. You can kind of feel where my bone fused together, I guess. Um, Now the fun thing was this happened on a Saturday, so Monday rolled around, and it's Monday morning, so I had to, call into work and say, "Hey, I can't make it in. I had an accident over the weekend. I broke my bone." And I was still on a probation period, so they told me, "Well, if you call off again, we're gonna have to let you go."
Oh shit.
So I was like, "What the fuck?" Uh, yeah, no, they were pretty cool about it once they pointed out, yeah, technically I because I was calling off on a Monday, if I called off again within the probation period, uh, I would be terminated. But they were very accommodating as far as being a new hire and all that, letting me keep my job even though I was gone for like 3 months.
Damn.
So, and that was those are my fun injuries.
You forgot one.
Did I? Which one?
It wasn't much, but you dislocated your big toe.
Wasn't that the same?
No, different. I forgot what year, but you were at my house. We were playing either tag or hide and seek, and you tripped over a root in my front yard.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's
But you
that.
didn't break it. But I think you dislocated or something.
Yeah, yeah. I have all kinds of random little injuries like that.
Well, I was definitely waiting for you to tell us about the quad incident because I mean I remember you told us about that one time, but like I don't know if you went into like the full like story of like how that happened, but yeah, I remember you mentioned about it, and I was like, oh damn, dude, I was like I can't wait to hear about this sometime in the future. But at least that's what I was waiting to hear.
Yeah, I think I forget what brought up the topic last week, but figured we could dive into that today. So the quad story I enjoy. It was fun. Uh, the arm story also. The arm story, I ended up getting a settlement out of it because it happened on somebody else's property and they had homeowners insurance, but they refused to cover the bill. Uh, and that is ultimately what led to me having a house.
Oh,
Hooray!
I got my house out of breaking my elbow. It only took uh,
It only took you simping.
Wait, what?
24 years to get it.
You got a like some kind of settlement reward for breaking your elbow?
Yeah. So
Dude,
basically, because they had homeowners insurance, my they the the parents of the kids, the owners of the property, obviously, they were my mom's friends. They had told my mom initially, "Don't worry about anything. We have insurance. We'll take care of it." And then when they got the first initial bill, they were like, "Oh, yeah, we're not paying for this. That was your guys' fault. Yeah, you shouldn't have been doing whatever the kids were doing." So my mom was like, "Well, what the fuck? Like, you have insurance. Why are we not going through with this?" And I guess they had mentioned that it was going to jack their premium up too much or something to that effect. So my mom ended up suing them. I had to go in for like a disposition where I had to basically tell my side of the story of what happened with my broken arm as a fucking, I don't know how old I was, 11, 12 maybe. Uh, um, to the best of my abilities, and they determined that it was the property owner's fault for not having any kind of safety, uh, like a harness or anything for the zip line. So they awarded me my hospital bills, and my mom elected to put it into a savings, interest-bearing saving account or something like that. And yeah, I got a settlement. I got a portion of it when I turned 21, 25, and then 30. And when I turned 30, I bought my house.
oh, okay. Wow. This is um this is a happy ending to a very tragic event, I think.
It was tragic. It just some
Who
stuff.
knows? Who knows what your potential could have been, Randy, if you didn't land on your head?
Well, again, I've had two pretty severe concussions in my life, uh, and I just attribute those to my memory loss, my poor
I
memory.
I want to say that I really don't think you have that bad memory.
It's pretty
Um,
bad.
but then again, I'm not around you 24/7 to be like monitoring all of that. Like if you were um in the kitchen like making a pizza one day and you hear the oven alarm go off, and you go to the oven and you like see a pizza there, and you're like, okay, who put this pizza in the oven? And you have no recollection of doing it yourself. I was like, okay, yeah, your memory is bad.
Damn,
If
he's got
if
dementia.
if that
So
happened, but I just don't think it's like that bad.
so for me, if I stay focused on the task, I can remember what I'm doing, right? But if I let's say what's an example? If I throw some laundry in the washing machine, right, and then I go to the store or take a nap or something, right? If I don't if I don't have the mindset of hey, I need to do laundry today, I will completely forget that laundry's in the washing machine. That's obviously this is a kind of a just an example, but like I forget things very easily, and then my long term memory is like I there are things that I remember, like I can remember significant events, but like if you ask me uh, what what we were doing the first time, for example, you and me met Ben, I know the events, like I know me and you talked after school with Juan there, and I vaguely remember being like at a table, but I couldn't tell you like anything else about the day. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember you used to have that mess. Did we talk about your messenger bag last time?
We did bring it up, so yeah, like I remember senior year, I had a messenger bag, and I'm pretty sure it was gray. But if you ask me to describe anything else about it, I got nothing.
On that note, I I don't think that like let's say I actually have autism, but every now and then I I recognize that I'm probably on the spectrum somewhere, and I don't know if you guys know anybody that's like actually autistic, like verifiably autistic. But let's say you did. Something that me and that person might have in common is like in my case, I have to make a habit to memorize certain things. So, let's say in my case, I had this job out in Santa Barbara, and I forgot my badge once to to go through the gate at work. And it's a long drive from where I was living. It's like an hour drive more or less. And so what I did was to make sure I would never forget, I would put a fork in the driver's seat facial mirror, that thing that opens up. I would put a fork right there. It's like, oh, what's this fork doing? What's this fork doing here? It's like that would be my like
Your
some kind of
trigger.
yeah some kind of memory device, my trigger to ask myself, okay, where's my badge? So every day after I got home, I would remember, okay, I'm gonna put this fork right here because that I'm gonna look at that fork and be like, what the hell is that fork doing there? It's like, okay, that's gonna tell me to make sure I have my badge on me. And after that, I never forgot my badge. So I do things like that all the time until it's like so. I would love to play life naturally, where I naturally remember that I left clothes in the washer. Like it just naturally came to me, but life does not work like that for me. Like I have to force myself to remember these things, and it does consciously feel that way, and I do consciously force myself to remember a lot of things. Now, there are some times in life where I do simplify things where, okay, I'm going to leave my badge in my car so I never forget it. I'm just so that way I don't have to think about it. There are some things that I do like that too, but other things I have to like force myself to remember. Another perfect example of this is this. This is another perfect example is I used to have this job where you come in an hour early on Wednesday, and it's easy to forget. It's very easy to forget.
That sounds like a weird work schedule. One day you have to come in earlier.
Right. It's very easy because this kind of job. It's like it was like you were like in the zone. You were like busy. You'd go to sleep, wake up, work. You know, go back home, sleep. You were busy. You're not even thinking about it. So what I did was I set a scheduled message every Wednesday morning. It was going to be like that from here to the end of the year. At that point in life, every Wednesday morning, I would get a text message from myself. Okay, you have to remember to come in 1 hour early because I know I'm going to forget the Tuesday or that Wednesday morning. I know I'm going to forget. So I had that scheduled message. And lo and behold, there were days where that scheduled message did come as a surprise. I was like, oh my God, I have to come in early today. And that scheduled message saved me. So that was good. That's another thing like that I use to help me remember things. So like I know that I'm prone to forgetfulness, so I make a habit to like consciously force myself to remember things.
So yeah, that's more or less how I have to do things on the short term side. If I have to leave my wallet, my keys, pretty much in the same spot every day. Otherwise, I will leave. Which I've done before. I will leave without my wallet. So every day when I come home, I throw my wallet in the same spot. If I give my ATM card to Nora to go, go grocery shopping or something, if she doesn't put it back in my wallet, I will forget that it's not there until the next time that I have to use my ATM card, and then all of a sudden it's, oh fuck, where's my ATM card?
I went to the strip club and I couldn't do anything.
Then I have to then I have to sit there and think, okay, when's the last time I had it? What did I do with it? And then eventually it goes back to, oh shit, I think I gave it to Nora. She didn't give it back.
Yeah,
My
you gotta imagine
problem
that's always a
is
pain in the
the
ass.
long-term stuff. It's the long-term stuff that I feel like my concussions have impacted. Like I couldn't tell you exactly when I broke my arm at this point.
It was somewhere near your birthday.
The only significant part, like the only timeline aspect of it I can remember is the fact that I missed the end of the year, like graduation party thing that Tom was talking about earlier with like jumpers and shit.
Yeah, they wouldn't let you go on because of the cast.
Yeah. So that part I remember, but I don't remember exactly when how long exactly I was out of school, how long exactly I had the cast on for. I know it was a couple of months. I barely remember my teacher from that year. I couldn't tell you who was in my class.
Wasn't me.
Yeah,
You had Jason in your class.
was he in my 6th grade class?
Yeah, because I had Dallin in mine.
There you go. Other like long-term things, like I said, if you asked me what I did fucking 3 weeks ago, I couldn't tell you. Where was I at 3 weeks ago on a Wednesday? I'd be like, oh, I don't know.
Mm.
So, yeah.
I don't think I remember what I was doing 3 Wednesdays ago either. But like, let's say if I happened to be hanging out with Frankie on that Wednesday, and there's like text messages that like say, okay, hey Frankie, I'm here. Are you there? Yada yada yada. Yeah, I'm here. When are you going to be there? Like, if I saw those text messages happen to be that third Wednesday ago, then I'd be like, okay. Yeah, I was with Frankie that Wednesday because that'd be a pretty memorable thing because Frankie's usually busy on Wednesdays. So, um, but if it's nothing out of the ordinary happened that day, I don't think I would remember what I was doing.
I don't think most people would remember if it's just a mundane day. I think different about it. You're not gonna your body's not gonna remember mundane shit like that. We're not designed to remember shit like that. Our brain would be fried if we did.
But on a good note, I did meet someone recently, Randy, that plays Skyrim.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, so they're a Todd Howard dick sucker too.
probably because they also played Fallout.
Oh, they double dipping. They going for the shaft and the balls.
Well, if they want a better game, they just all Bethesda has to do is just give their property to someone else, and they'll make a better game of their game,
You're just a hater.
like they did to New Vegas. I hope we get famous and someone makes a compilation of all the times I shit on Todd Howard.
Dude,
That'd be great.
that's how we get canceled, man.
What's funny about Tom's hatred for Todd Howard is that there's an interview with a ex-dev from Bethesda that came out like last week or so, and the guy mentions that as a developer he's fucking crazy good, but the problem is he's like the face of the company now, so he doesn't get to actually develop the games anymore. So fuck you, Tom.
He could.
Howard is my god.
He could develop a game. I think he probably has some kind of little dumb ego from his little dumb body.
He never came off that way to me.
Tom's just a generational hater.
We'll get into we go deep dive into my hatred of them next episode because we're already an hour in. So
Yeah. Yeah, Tommy, we'll do that.
Anybody else got any topics?
For next time.
Yeah, I got one, but I can save it for our next week's episode. Just gotta write it down really quick so that way I can remember.
Right. Copy it onto your computer notes.
That's right. We forgot we got notes on here.
You got notes
Good
on
job.
that.
Good job, Frankie. Good effing job. So are we gonna go on the so this is where we all hop into Lethal Company?
I maybe could.
You can't say no. You can't say no, Tommy. You of all people cannot say no.
Oh, he didn't join us for the hightail game, did he?
Ben? I don't think
Ben?
so.
Yeah, Ben didn't join us, did
I played for a few minutes.
All right, well, I'm going to go take a dookie. I'll be right back.
All right, we got 20 minutes. Well, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, thank you again for watching. As always, I got to edit this out, but I'll put the okay, bye for Randy.
Okay, bye.
That wasn't the real one.
All right, I'll be right back.
It's very distinct because I have to input it into the editing. So,
okay, bye.